Welcome, everybody, back to Intuitive Guidance with Torniamo. And today we have another installment of live intuitive tarot readings. And today I have the lovely Anna with me, who who is a fellow esoteric seeker. Is that a good phrase?
I think that's a lovely phrase. Yeah.
I was just thanking her before we came on that her Substack gives me so many subscribers. And so even before I go any further, anybody who's watching this should definitely go onto Substack and subscribe to Anna because I think her content is really interesting. I also love that it's actually quite local. Like a lot of the content is based around your locality. And
Hmm.
I think that's such a lovely thing to do because, of course, nobody really reads local news anymore. And so I think that's a really lovely aspect of your delivery. And so today I am also going to give Anna an intuitive tarot readings, doing it live. I obviously know who Anna is, just to sort of show my bias, but there's certain things about her life which I have no idea what's going on for her, you know? So it'll be interesting to see what the tarot shows up. So before we head in, Anna, I'm going to let you choose deck number one or deck number two. I'm not really going to show it to you because I know what you will choose if you see it.
Oh, interesting. Okay, one.
Okay, well, precisely. So you chose the one I did not think you would choose, basically.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I took that out of my ass. But because, yeah. Okay, interesting. One, love that. So this is the deck that I inherited from my grandmother, which is the original tarot deck,
Amazing.
which is really lovely. I open every reading with that anything I say today is, of course, only advice and guidance, right? The future is not set in stone, and at the end of the day, you still have to make your own decisions. And please don't make any life-altering decisions the second you get off this call, just because Tor said
I
so.
love the disclaimer. Yeah, I'm going to
But
blame you
I
for
think it's so
everything.
important, though, right? Because I do think that,
Hmm.
of course, I wouldn't be doing tarot readings if I don't believe in their value. But it's also really, really important as a part of the process of being a good tarot reader and the recipient of a tarot to practice your own discernment.
Hmm.
To be like,
Yeah.
actually, what that person said doesn't resonate, and that's fine,
Mm-mm.
or that thing really, really resonated, and I'm going to take some time to integrate before I act on what that
Yes,
might mean
completely.
for my day-to-day
Completely.
life, because I think a
Mm-mm.
lot of people, I don't know. And I mean, I do these videos, but like if you're on Instagram and there's a tarot reader who's like, do this, do this, do this, and you're like, I will do it now because I believe the gods guided me to this video, and you watched 5 videos a day, it's not gonna be very valid.
No, no, I'm with you. There's personal accountability.
Personal accountability.
The universe might be sending you vibes, but you've got to step into them and do
Yeah.
what you want with
I
them.
mean, I said this example in my previous video, and I'm going to say it again because I think it's hilarious. So I'm a cyclist in London, but I do occasionally take public transport.
Hmm.
And when I do take public transport, I allow myself to pick up the metro to read the horoscopes, just
Oh,
for fun.
yes. Yeah.
In the evening, I picked up the horoscopes.
Hmm.
During that day, I am a fiend for chocolates. I have to be really quite strict. Otherwise, I'd just be eating chocolate all day. And there was one day I was like tired and I met a friend for coffee and we had a cake and I had some chocolate and like it was quite an indulgent day.
Hmm.
And I kid you not, specifically in my horoscope, it said, perhaps don't have too many treats.
Moderation,
Moderation.
moderation for you.
Like, and there's a few other examples as well where it's been like a dead specific.
Hmm.
It was like a call where I had a call with somebody in the morning and I had been less than calm with this person.
Hmm. Hmm.
And in the evening, it said, perhaps practice some temperance with people you love. I was like, sure, I will do
Yeah,
my best.
whatever. Whatever. It's already happened.
It's
Whatever.
already happened, but it's quite interesting how specific it was for the
Mm,
day where I did something. So
impressive.
I give the Metro horoscope quite a bit of
Yeah,
credit.
who knew the Metro astrologer was so on the money?
Yeah, who knew?
Amazing.
So obviously loads of advertisement for Metro horoscope here.
Yeah, Metro horoscope.
Um, so we could choose to do this in a few different ways.
Mhm.
You can ask a question, we can just do an open reading, or we can focus on 2026. What would you like?
I have a question. I rarely have a question, so I'm
Oh, I love
excited.
that. Um, what is the
Would
question?
you like the question?
I would like the question, yeah.
You would like the question. Okay, so the question is I am retraining
Okay.
as a counselor,
Yeah.
and I'm very interested in bringing in tarot and other tools into that work. And interestingly, even in my therapy class yesterday, I had quite a rich debate with some of my classmates about whether tarot, astrology, alternative things, which I affectionately call woo, actually devalue the profession of counselling. So it was quite a rich debate. So my question is, am I onto something? Is this something that will be useful to others and useful to me, this path?
Yeah. What a great question, because obviously some people will be like stern no, otherwise
Yeah.
like stone
Hmm.
yes, and it sounds like to me like perhaps you're somewhere in the middle, right?
Yes, completely. Discerning, like you
Discerning.
say.
Discerning. Yeah.
Mm.
Interesting. I mean, full disclosure, I use my tarot when it's more like obviously sometimes it's just pure divination, right?
Hmm.
Other times it's more like a coachy session.
Hmm.
And then I will use the tarot, right, as a coaching
Mm.
tool.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
and so I think in that space there certainly is potential. And I mean, this is really interesting because it's, I mean, I shuffled really well, and it's
Mm-mm.
to a question which I had like not long ago. It's not exactly the same, but it has a similarity, and these are very similar cards.
Interesting. Okay. That's fun.
So they're all reversed.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Hmm.
They're all reversed. There's certainly some thinking. There's some further thinking that needs to be developed into this answer.
Hmm. I
I
like
think it's
that.
very fitting the suit that has come forward.
Hmm.
So the three cards, which are all reversed, is the Three of Wands,
Hmm.
the Page of Wands, and also the Knight of Wands.
Oh,
So they're
okay.
all Wands card, and
Hmm.
they are all reversed. What do I think that this means for you in your more counseling setting? How does that resonate with that? These three cards, on the face of it, they're not a hard yes, but they're also not a hard
Mm.
no, right?
Hmm.
So I think that what they're trying to say is that there will be a time and a place. And
Hmm.
like you just said, you will have to practice a lot of discernment. And I also
Mm.
think that, yeah, I think it's just going to be incredibly contextual and how you frame it to the
Hmm.
client, whether
Hmm.
that's correct. I'm also just sensing maybe because I love the notion of cards, but I'm wondering if tarot cards specifically carry a certain heritage,
Yeah. Hmm.
whilst maybe and so will, for example, oracle cards will carry a certain
Hmm. Hmm.
heritage, and the word oracle will put
Yeah.
off certain people. But I wonder if there's a deck out there which still has a spiritual facet to it, but carry less of a certain
Mm. Mm. It's a good
history
challenge.
to
Yeah.
it that
Mm.
might be more welcome in your counseling setting, basically. I also
Mm.
think that what these cards are telling me is that before you start, and I mean, you're already doing this, so this is a bit of a non starter, but I think that counseling foundation.
Mm.
Your foundation as a counselor needs to be like super strong
Yeah. Mhm.
before you
Mhm.
start bringing in that more creative elements of
Mm,
tarot.
mm-mm.
And I mean, what I'm also getting as I'm speaking now, which sort of goes in the opposite direction of that, is that in so many ways, the counseling room can be quite clinical in a way, for better or
Yeah.
worse, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And actually trying to challenge them to bring in more of a creative element
Mhm.
might also be really welcomed. So this is, I believe, why I said there most likely will be a time and a place depending on the
Yeah.
client that you are working with. And I think that so with the Three of Wands, there is some sort of partnership in that card, right? The partnership with
Mhm.
another person. And I think that to sort of broaden your perspective of what that could look like, there is a partnership that needs to be developed as a
Mhm.
way of figuring out what that proposal looks like to bring
Mm.
in something such as a tarot. But at the same time, with the Page of Wands, right, which is like creativity,
Yeah.
fire, energy, passion, it's like don't block yourself from doing something, right? Because that's also
Mhm.
with it being reversed. It's also there's a um there's potentially a like imposter syndrome, doubt,
Yeah.
maybe I'm not
Mhm.
doing this. But
Mhm.
don't block yourself from doing something that
Mhm.
you're really,
Mhm.
really passionate about, right? Because that's also a reversal doesn't always mean no. Sometimes it
Yeah.
means I'm carrying too much doubt. I'm blocking
Mhm.
myself from doing
Mhm.
something because perhaps the counseling establishment is like, oh no,
Yeah.
can't do that. But then you still have to go forth
Mhm.
with that self belief. But I do still think it's important that you with a Knight of Wands being reversed. There's a, if it's upright, there is a feeling of like carelessness or not thinking about consequences in that card.
Mm.
So with it being reversed, I think you also then really need to be discerning about consequences and creating a plan and like being quite
Yeah.
structured
Mm.
around why and what that would actually
Mm.
tangibly
Mm-mm.
look like.
Yeah. That
Um,
makes sense.
but yeah, I think and it's so interesting that you got all of like three wands cards,
Yeah. That's unusual
all of them
for me anyway.
being reversed, basically. And I think
Hmm.
that's probably what these three cards in that setting means. But I feel like there's like I just see like there's a tiny seed which is blossoming into something.
Mm.
It's just gonna take you a bit of time to feel
Yeah.
perfectly ready to bring in that more tarot
Mm.
creative element and also exploring perhaps whether there's some other decks that still has a spiritual element to it,
Mm.
but kind of takes away the occult, new agey sort of
Yeah.
spiritual
Mm-mm-mm.
heritage of the tarot deck, basically.
Yeah.
Because how I work often with them is that I use them as like a Rorschach test. So I
Mhm.
use I get
Mhm.
people to look at the
Yeah.
card and then see what comes up.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. How does that feel to you? How does that resonate?
It really resonates. And I was thinking as I was asking the question, I was like, if you're just going to give me majors, I'm not going to listen to you because this is like, it isn't a yes or no. I wouldn't want it to be a yes or no.
Yeah.
I wanted something a bit nuanced. I'm really glad with what came out and how you described it because it feels true
Yeah.
to really lean into it. These are all the things that are in my mind, and I need to give them space for them to be in my mind. It isn't just a like go 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 or yeah, this is amazing. I'll be perfect. 10 of cups.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, because I can be quite skeptical when looking at cards and when having a reading because I think the temptation
Oh
is
yeah.
to always be like, oh, quick answer. Yeah, the world's got me. So actually to have a much more measured, challenging, curious reading resonates so much more.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Because I think there's loads of potential there. It just has to be
Mm,
approached with like thoughtfulness.
exactly. And
Thoughtfulness.
really what would I be doing if I wasn't going into this profession with that in mind? So
Yeah. 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 I mean, it's really
it's a
exciting.
good challenge.
I'm gonna pull two more cards, and then we'll leave it at that and just see what. Now it's just an open, seeing what shows up.
Nice, okay.
All right. So we have the Eight of Cups reversed, and
Hmm.
we have Justice upright. And I love how for a moment there you look up and you keep thinking, what does that mean to me? Because obviously you also do a bit of tarot.
Yeah, I'm like, and I'm like, wait, I don't know. You can tell me. You're the actual expert.
How do I interpret the Eight of Cups? And how do we interpret the Eight of Cups? So with the Eight of Cups being reversed, so cups within the tarot deck, often not always, obviously, is about our emotional landscape, how we're
Mm,
feeling, intuition. And I sense that, there is some, whether it's with a relative or a partner, at least definitely somebody who's close to you, right? Where there's been like
hmm.
an emotional challenge, shall we say.
Hmm.
Um, and with it being reversed, it's still kind of lingering in the back of your
Yeah.
mind.
Hmm.
And, the sort of invitation with Eight of Cups is to sort of step out into the unknown and start that pilgrimage to the Nine of Cups. You
Hmm.
know, that can be uh, uncomfortable,
Yeah. Hmm.
a bit
Hmm.
unnerving,
Hmm.
because we don't know actually where it leads
Yeah.
us by doing that release. But it kind of still, with it being Eight of Cups, it tells me that you're not ready to do that just yet.
Hmm.
There's a bit of
Hmm.
internal hesitation,
Yeah.
and it's just an
Hmm.
invitation to start considering whether it is time.
Interesting.
And with the Justice card coming up next, I feel that because justice is balance, right? Ultimate
Hmm.
justice is balance. Um, and I think that with the Justice card, when you have decided to step out and do that, go through that emotional challenge, eventually it will turn out well with the Justice card being upright, basically. So it's definitely something to consider.
And you know what's fun? The scenario that comes to mind is one that I have spoken about in my counselling session this week and in class yesterday when we did practice. So I'm like, there we go. Look at that.
There we
That's
go.
really helpful.
So it is perhaps time to
Mm.
make the
Mm.
make begin, basically. Yeah.
Definitely. Interesting. Okay.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Any final questions? Any final thoughts?
No, I don't think so. But I think I'll say what I said when we first had a reading. Like, I think the way you read is just so level.
Thank
And
you.
it's not like wham, bam, bam, and this is happening, this is happening. And I think tarot can get a bad name for that perspective. And
Yeah.
it's that bad name that I'm feeling is what's coming from my classmates being like, you absolutely can't do this in counseling. I'm like,
Mm.
but you can. And yeah,
Yeah.
I think the way you read is I keep in mind
Thank
for that
you.
purpose. Yeah,
Thank you. Yeah, it's you have to find your own way to approach it.
completely. Completely.
And thank you so much for telling me that I have a level approach, because that's also what I try to do.
Mm,
Just a super leveled approach.
yeah, it's nice.
Well, thank you so much for giving me your
Thank
time.
you.
And yeah, thank you so much.
Magic. Thank
Thank you for
you.
watching, everybody.